Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, breaking news in the National Guard deployment battle. Summer like heat for millions, a shopping forecast, 80 days till Christmas, and Jason Kelce's new interview.
Breaking overnight, the fight over President Trump's push to send U.S. troops into more American cities. What a judge appointed by President Trump said after blocking the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland, blasting the Trump administration. After mostly peaceful protests interrupted by clashes between federal agents and protesters in Portland and Chicago, as governors in both states fight to stop the deployment. This morning, Trevor Ault in Portland, Alex Perez in Chicago.
Fall scorcher. Record-breaking temperatures in the Midwest and Northeast. Feeling more like August than October. Ginger has just how hot it will get and when it will finally cool down.
New hope for an end to the war in Gaza. Both sides meeting to discuss President Trump's 20-point peace plan that could bring the hostages home and end the fighting. Ian Pannell is tracking negotiations live from the region.
Mount Everest rescue mission. Nearly 1,000 people trapped by a blizzard. The campsite's 16,000 feet high.
Former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez under arrest.
Patient's critical right now.
In the hospital facing charges after a clash with a truck driver. How police say the former Jet ended up stabbed several times.
Ooh, Bad Bunny.
I'm doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
How the global superstar is responding to critics who don't want him on the NFL's biggest stage.
80 days till Christmas. We have the new holiday shopping forecast. Plus, why you shouldn't wait for Black Friday and what to buy right now.
And a sweet football Sunday. For the Ted Lasso gang and for my Saints.
10-5 touchdown!
A stunner for Strahan. A shocker for the Bills.
Right down the middle, Borregales nails it!
And for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
There's a whole pack of people there, and it's incomplete! And the Broncos have their signature win.
Plus, Jason Kelce taking on Travis, Patrick Mahomes, and Coach Andy Reid.
Trav, when's the wedding?
Asking what everyone wants to know.
Spit it out.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
It is indeed Monday. Don't worry, Michael was able to shake it off. He's just fine. We are looking forward to the Chiefs' Monday night game against Jacksonville after that wild Sunday. Much more from Jason Kelce's conversation just ahead. And the new hope for parents in the fight against peanut allergies. Dr. Narula will break down the new tools for doctors and what all parents should know.
That is all coming up. First, the breaking news overnight. In a late-night ruling, a federal judge appointed by President Trump blocked the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland as President Trump attempts to send U.S. troops into the city of Chicago as well. That comes against the objections of the governors of both those states, so this has never happened before in American history. Our team is live in both Chicago and Portland. I want to start with Trevor Ault in Oregon. Good morning, Trevor.
Well, George, I want to show you here what's actually happening on the ground. Is essentially a judge said the Trump administration was trying to circumvent her ruling. So behind me here is the ICE facility in Portland, and then this is a small encampment of demonstrators outside it. And essentially a judge has ruled that the president's claim that demonstrators are burning down the city is simply not reality. She first barred the Trump administration from sending the Oregon National Guard in here, and now she's barred the administration from sending in the National Guard in any state.
Overnight in a tense Oregon hearing, a federal judge blocking President Trump's attempt to deploy members of the California National Guard into Portland, saying she was troubled by the Trump administration's attempt to circumvent an order she'd issued just a day earlier. Trump had already tried to send in Oregon National Guard troops to Portland. That was halted on Saturday. The administration then tried on Sunday to send the troops in from California. Then late last night, Judge Karen Immergant, a Trump appointee, issued a new, broader order prohibiting the administration from using federal control to send any state's National Guard into Oregon. and pressing the government's attorney, saying, quote, "You are an officer of the court. Do you believe that this is an appropriate way to deal with my order, or an order that a judge issues that you disagree with, or is that an appropriate mechanism to appeal as you have done?" Over the weekend, federal officers clashed with demonstrators at the ICE headquarters in Portland, firing pepper balls and flashbangs. Portland police say they did not observe any person or property crimes committed and no arrests were made. But the Trump administration insists violent criminals are destroying Portland and troops are necessary to protect federal assets and personnel. In a ruling Saturday, the judge wrote Portland's protests were not significantly violent or disruptive, and that Trump's description of them was simply untethered to the facts. That deploying the Oregon National Guard likely exceeded his constitutional authority. The state's attorney general pushing back against the president.
As the president, you must have an actual facts based on reality, not social media or just your gut feeling if you want to mobilize the military.
Now, to be clear, the judge's ruling simply bans the president from sending the National Guard here to Portland. Portland's police chief has also pushed back against the National Guard here. He fears that it would just escalate crowd behavior. Of course, the Trump administration has appealed this decision. They say the judge is impermissibly second-guessing the commander-in-chief's judgment. Robin?
All right, Trevor, let's go to Chicago now. Alex Perez is there for us this morning. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. This ICE facility behind me is one of a few locations over the weekend where we saw some intense clashes between federal agents and protesters. Now, after a federal judge blocked the White House's attempt to send National Guard troops into Portland, the administration authorizing hundreds of Guard members from Texas be sent to Chicago to protect federal buildings and personnel. Over the weekend, federal agents deployed tear gas, shooting rubber bullets and arresting protesters. On Saturday, agents shot and injured 30-year-old Marimar Martinez after federal officials say she and another man used their cars to ram federal vehicles and block them in. DHS says Martinez was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. She was treated for her injuries and is now facing criminal charges. Trump's authorization of the Guard coming against the wishes of Governor J.B. Pritzker, the Illinois governor, calling on Texas Governor Greg Abbott to refuse to coordinate with the administration, saying we must now start calling this what it is, Trump's invasion. But Abbott defending the administration overnight, saying in a statement, you can either fully enforce protection for federal employees or get out of the way and let the Texas Guard do it. The president insists the ICE raids and National Guard deployments will continue to escalate as he believes the public is on his side. Governor Pritzker says he will fight the deployment of the National Guard in court. George?
Alex, thanks. Let's get more on this from our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott. And Rachel, as I said at the top, we've never seen this before. The president trying to send in troops over the objections of governors in both states. It's also a sharp departure from his first term when the president was blocked by members of his own administration. Even he conceded that he couldn't do it.
Yeah, over the objections of the governors in both of these states, George. But in addition, it is remarkable to hear a Trump-appointed judge say that she is troubled by the efforts of the administration to try to go around what the court has already ordered. The administration now pushing forward with this move, George. And not only this, but it comes at a time where it has really left the court scrambling. It is unusual to have many of these hearings happening late night over the phone. The court scrambling to try to respond to how the Trump administration is moving forward, trying to carry out the president's orders here. And exactly what you noted, George, there, during the first administration, you did have officials around the president, even the president's own attorneys, who cautioned him against going this far. This time around, the president is emboldened by those around him who are encouraging him to keep moving forward. And of course, in their efforts to appeal this as well, George.
And Rachel, also in Washington, the Supreme Court goes into session today, and this case could end up there. One of several tests where the limits of the president's power will be tested.
The limits of the president's power will be tested before a conservative majority that is on the bench. In many ways, the president shaped this conservative majority that the Supreme Court now has. And so this is one of the issues that could land in front of the Supreme Court. But also you have the president moving forward with efforts to try to fire Lisa Cook on the Federal Reserve, really testing the independence of the Federal Reserve, as well as the president's tariff policy. That is expected to be taken up as well by the Supreme Court justices, as well as the president's push in his effort, one of his campaign promises to end birthright citizenship. All this coming before the Supreme Court this term, George.
Government shutdown heading into its second week, both sides digging in.
Only digging in, and the finger pointing continues. We are now entering the 6th day of the government shutdown, George. The Senate today will try to force another vote on a Republican proposal that does not include any of the Democratic demands, which are to reverse Medicaid cuts and also to extend those expiring Obamacare subsidies so health insurance premiums don't go up for millions of Americans. But at this point, these two sides are still at odds. They are only digging in, and there's no end in sight to this government shutdown, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks, Robin.
George, now we're going to turn to the fall heat. The calendar, it says October, but it feels like summer. Record-breaking temperatures in the 80s in the Midwest and Northeast. Ginger is here to tell us how long the unseasonable weather, how long is it going to hang around, Ginge?
Yeah, well, by next weekend, we shouldn't be sweating at my son's flag football game like we were this time. You know, daily records, that's one thing. But when you talk about all-time October heat, that's what we were seeing in Burlington, Vermont at 86 degrees. They smashed that record. It used to be 83 for the hottest temperature ever in October. Traverse City, Michigan tied it just short of 90. You saw just short of 90 from Waterloo through Wisconsin there, Lansing, Michigan as well. Now, we are going to see another day of this heat from Chicago to Cleveland, Detroit, still warm, but all the way through Pittsburgh, New York, and Holton, Maine. Their average high temperature is 59. Today, going for 84. So you know we're much above average by 10 to even 25 degrees. But as I mentioned, that cold front does come through. It does its job. It drops us 2, and even in some places a few degrees below average. Burlington down into the 50s, New York into the 60s by Thursday. And I do want to mention, because everybody this weekend was talking about it, they're like, this isn't normal, right? Well, since 1970, every county in the United States has seen warming in fall. And just to give some perspective, a place like Minneapolis has added 24 degrees above average during the fall season, George.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. We're going to go overseas and out of the Middle East, where negotiators are trying to finalize a deal to end the war, bring the hostages home, ahead of tomorrow's anniversary of the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel that triggered the war that has devastated Gaza. Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pennell is on the scene in Israel. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, George. This is the start of a critical week with these high-stakes talks set to start in Egypt this afternoon. Israel and Hamas meeting indirectly to discuss the U.S. plan to try and end the war. The U.S. brokered proposals would see the immediate release of all 48 hostages, 20 of whom are believed to be still alive, the release of Palestinian prisoners and the partial withdrawal of Israeli forces, Hamas agreeing to relinquish control of Gaza at some point. Now, the deal's set to move in phases. President Trump posting the first phase should be completed this week. Hundreds of thousands of Israelis rallying over the weekend in support of the deal, but obstacles do remain, not least the issue disarming Hamas. And many Gazans fear once the hostages are released, the bombing could start again. Nevertheless, I think this looks like the best chance so far to end the war. As you say, tomorrow marks the second anniversary of that devastating attack that sparked this brutal conflict, and both Israelis and Palestinians are now desperately praying for peace. Robin?
Many are doing that, Ian. Thank you. Now to new details on the arrest of former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez. He faces a battery charge after an alleged altercation in Indianapolis where he was hospitalized after being stabbed. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is here with more on this. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Robin. Mark Sanchez was supposed to be part of the team calling Sunday's Colts-Raiders game. Instead, he ended up stabbed, hospitalized, and arrested. And even his broadcast partners say they're still trying to wrap their heads around what happened. This morning, former New York Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez is facing misdemeanor charges after an alleged drunken fight with a truck driver.
I'll be following the medic to Eskenazi. Patient's critical right now.
Police say Sanchez approached a 69-year-old truck driver in the loading dock of a downtown Indianapolis hotel. The driver told police Sanchez smelled of alcohol and his speech was slurred. Court records say Sanchez climbed into the truck and prevented the driver from calling for help before there was a fight, and Sanchez shoved the driver. Sanchez ended up pepper sprayed and stabbed multiple times after the driver told police he thought to himself, "This guy's trying to kill me."
This is a situation that didn't need to happen and should not have happened. The allegations involved here involve a 38-year-old former professional athlete becoming involved in a physical confrontation with a 69-year-old man who is just attempting to do his job.
Sanchez, who played 8 seasons in the NFL, was in Indianapolis to be part of the broadcast team for Sunday's Colts-Raiders game.
Mark Sanchez was involved in an incident that, to be honest, we're all still trying to wrap our heads around. At this time, our thoughts and prayers are with Mark, his family, and all those involved.
Sanchez is now charged with battery, unlawful entry to a motor vehicle, and public intoxication, and he's tentatively set to appear in court tomorrow.
Maybe we'll get some more answers then. All right, Aaron, thank you. We're going to turn now to action on the football field. Lara's here with Sunday's big moments, including the Eagles and Bills, undefeated no longer.
Yeah, unbelievable football. Robin, good morning, everybody. The day started with two teams left undefeated in the NFL, but both met a similar fate. Take a look.
No time left on the clock, and the last of the unbeatens has fallen in the NFL.
Overnight, a real shock in Buffalo.
And we have seen all we need to see tonight out of Drake May. He has delivered in a big way.
From the 34, pressure on May.
In the final minute of the game, the New England Patriots' second-year quarterback Drake May setting up this last-second field goal attempt.
Right down the middle, Borregales nails it.
Giving his team the win, 23-20 over the previously undefeated Buffalo Bills.
The New England Patriots let everybody know they are here.
That was fun. That was a tough one. I took everybody in that locker room, and the guys came out and we battled.
And down in Philly, the Eagles with two last-second chances to remain undefeated.
Here's Hurts. Pass almost intercepted. And everybody looking for a flag, and it's not coming out. Sirianni is furious after looking at this.
But it was not to be. The Denver Broncos defeating the Birds 21-17.
This is a great one to learn from, and, we will learn from it.
And I do have some good news for our Robin. So the Saints took home their first win of the season after facing a 14-3 deficit in the first quarter. They wound up defeating the Giants.
Michael Strahan's
Giants?
Giants?
In fact.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
26-14. Pretty clear victory there. Meanwhile, across the pond, everybody in London, the Minnesota Vikings toppled the Cleveland Browns at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Ted Lasso was in the crowd. Jason Sudeikis spotted taking in a different kind of game on the pitch with his co-star Hannah Waddingham. Up next, the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Monday Night Football, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC and ESPN, guys.
I'm bold when you're sitting there, not Michael.
Yeah. Don't think I didn't notice. And he's at home watching,
Thank you, Aaron.
Coming up, how Bad Bunny responded to his critics while hosting Saturday Night Live as he gets ready for the Super Bowl halftime show.
Also had the latest on the roller coaster at Universal Orlando reopening after a man died riding it just 2 weeks ago.
And Rebecca Jarvis has the holiday shopping forecast.
Hey, George. Yeah, it's 80 days until Christmas, but it's time to cue the Bing Crosby because we have a look at what many Americans are expected to do this holiday season and where you can find the greatest savings right now. That's ahead.
Coming up, Taylor dropped the official music video for one of her new songs overnight. Lara's going to have all the details coming up. And we'll be right back.
We have a lot of Swifties in the control room, so I'm letting this play out a little bit more. Taylor Swift releasing the first music video off her new album overnight. That song, The Fate of Ophelia, is about her fiance, Travis Kelce, and his brother Jason sat down with Travis, Patrick Mahomes, and their coach Andy Reid about the Chiefs' Monday night game. All that coming up.
There's about some other things as well.
Yes, right. Yes, a little bit.
First new at 7:30, Universal Orlando reopened its Stardust Racers roller coaster this weekend, 2 weeks after a man died on the ride. The cause of death was blunt force trauma. It was ruled an accident. Universal says the ride was operating properly and staff followed all safety procedures. There was reportedly a 3-hour-long line at the ride when it was at the reopening. Also, rescue efforts are ongoing in Tibet after a blizzard trapped nearly 1,000 people in campsites on Mount Everest. The snow has blocked roads, making it difficult for rescuers to reach the areas. The campsites are at an altitude of 16,000 feet. And 3 people were injured in a fire at a South Carolina home that is believed to belong to a state circuit court judge. The home is on a barrier island, and the victims had to be rescued from the backyard with kayaks. No word about how badly they were hurt. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And take a look at this. More than 500 hot air balloons rising on day 2 of Albuquerque's 53rd annual International Balloon Fiesta.
Wow.
High winds kept the crafts grounded on day 1. The event runs through next weekend.
Man.
Right now, we're going to get the latest on Super Bowl halftime show controversy after rapper Bad Bunny fired back at critics during an appearance on Saturday Night Live. Chris Connolly has the story. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, George. Bad Bunny using humor on the SNL stage this past weekend to clap back at those critical of his being named the Super Bowl 60 halftime show performer.
You might not know these, but I'm doing the Super Bowl halftime show. And I'm very happy.
Bad Bunny on SNL, using his voice in response to criticism surrounding his big new gig.
I'm very happy, and I think everyone is happy about it. Even Fox News.
Bad Bunny is my favorite musician, and he should be the next president.
That was a parody, but there's been real pushback from some quarters against the NFL hiring the 31-year-old superstar, whose real name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, and who primarily sings in Spanish. Bad Bunny addressing it head on.
And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn.
Bad Bunny recently wrapping up a sold-out 31-concert residency in his native Puerto Rico. Yet Bad Bunny opting not to tour the continental U.S. because, as he told ID magazine, there was the issue of, like, ICE could be outside my concert. And it's something that we were talking about and very concerned about. Those concerns perhaps to be realized outside Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California, near San Francisco, with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem telling the Benny Show podcast that ICE agents will be present.
We'll be all over that place. And we're going to enforce the law. So I think people should not be coming to the Super Bowl unless they're law-abiding Americans who love this country.
Bad Bunny has been soaring in popularity stateside and with generations of Latino fans. He turned up earlier this year in Happy Gilmore 2.
What's agreement?
He's no stranger to the Super Bowl halftime show after performing with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez in Miami for Super Bowl 54 back in 2020. Now, the NFL putting him on the world's biggest stage.
I think the NFL absolutely is sending a message by selecting Bad Bunny as the halftime Super Bowl act. And I think that message is that they want to appeal to a larger global audience.
Super Bowl 60 set for February 8th, 2026, and certain to be among the year's toughest tickets, guys.
And that is for sure. All right, Chris, thank you. It's 80 days until Christmas, but the holidays are coming early if you're looking for a bargain. Adobe Analytics is out this morning with its holiday shopping forecast. Let's bring in our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis. What's the forecast
Here's
here?
the forecast, Robin. It's summer in the streets, but it is Christmas in the stores and sites right now. And what we're looking at for this holiday season is bigger than ever online. People will spend $253 billion. That's 5% higher than they did last year. The height, according to Adobe, is that 10 days around Thanksgiving, shoppers will spend over $5 billion a day, and most people are going to be shopping right here on their phone.
Well, are they choosing more buy now, pay later options?
Buy now, pay later. So you see this when you go to checkout online, and it is becoming more and more popular. That's expected to rise 11% to $20 billion. And a lot of that is because it's just easier. You don't need a credit card. You're automatically approved, and it makes it a lot more seamless. And Gen Z is really taking advantage of this.
What's behind all this, do you think?
Well, a lot of it is that credit is harder to come by. Credit's more expensive. Sure. But you do have to be careful if you're opting into buy now, pay later, because as soon as you miss one of those payments, it breaks up your payments over time. The minute you miss one, there's higher fees, there can be interest, and then it can also count against you in your credit score. So when you want to buy a house or a car or something bigger, you suddenly have an issue.
Got to keep that in mind.
Yep.
Lots of shopping before Black Friday.
A lot. George, I'm glad you asked. Have you been doing a lot of shopping, George? We're seeing it in Prime Day right now because Amazon Prime Day is happening. You've got Target, Walmart, everybody is out with their own big deals right now. What I would say is look for the everyday essentials right now. Look for Apple products. Look for holiday decor. Otherwise, if you're waiting on some of these bigger ticket items, they tend to be better deals when you get to Black Friday.
Any other deals now?
We're seeing, again, a lot of Apple products right now. on sale at both Amazon and Target. We're also seeing some great deals at Target on their decor and home decor. So again, it's good to purchase things if you really need them, but again, don't get sort of wrapped up in all of this excitement. There will be more deals later in the season as well. And if you do buy now, keep those receipts, because if things start going down, obviously it's about the return policy, but if things start going down in price, you might be able to get a price match or return it and buy it again at a lower price.
Well, we do have 80 days. So you got plenty
You got time.
You got time. Time is on our side. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks.
The Kansas City Chiefs getting ready for tonight's Monday Night Football game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Head of the matchup, Chiefs stars Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Coach Andy Reid sat down with Travis's brother Jason. Well, Reid has the story. Hey, well.
Good morning, George. Good morning, Robin. So Jason Kelce was in a room full of 4 future Hall of Famers. They each have a deep bond, including one by blood. They were talking football and philosophy and a little bit of wedding planning. This morning, the men most responsible for the Kansas City Chiefs' recent historic success sitting down for a joint interview.
The head coach. Spit it out.
Sitting across from tight end Travis Kelce, quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and head coach Andy Reid, Jason Kelce. Travis's brother diving right in with a timely question.
Well, let's start with what everybody wants to know.
Oh, God.
Trav, when's the wedding?
Get this guy. I was wondering what he was going to ask.
I didn't know what was coming next.
No details yet on Travis's upcoming marriage to pop superstar Taylor Swift. Right now, Kelce, Mahomes, and Reid are focused on bouncing back from an 0-2 start to the season after that brutal Super Bowl loss.
Hardest probably start to a season you guys have faced together in terms, 0-2. How have you guys been handling this new form of adversity?
For us, it's like, don't make it bigger than what it is. Yeah. Know how important it is and that we need to get back on track, but just go back to work, do what we do, and then the results will kind of come in our favor as the season goes on.
Jason Kelce played 2 seasons under Reid with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Coach, one of the things I've always admired about you is your ability to keep guys accountable, ownership, but you also find ways to let guys be themselves. Let your personality show is one of the phrases I still repeat on a daily basis. What do you think it is about you that gets that out of players?
Yeah, listen, we've got good guys, first of all.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving them guidelines, pretty simple ones. Be on time.
Yes.
Work hard. Be honest.
Yeah.
And then try to stay within those guidelines and then go be you. You want to get the best out of them, and the way they do that is they shine, man. Each guy shines his own shine, and some of them shine a little bit brighter.
I've been meaning to bring this up. Our dad, when he would drop us off at school, he would tell the teacher, he would say, hey, you have full authority to hit this kid if he gets out alive. So just want to let you know, from Papa Kelce, you do have authority. If this guy could,
that's exactly what you told me at the draft.
And you can see more of Jason's conversation tonight on Monday Night Countdown. That's at 6 Eastern on ESPN. And then tonight at 8:15 Eastern on ABC and ESPN, the 2-2 Chiefs host the 3-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Could be a good game, guys.
Yeah. You got to love the brotherly love.
I know.
They have true.
Such a good vibe.
Such a great vibe. Mm-hmm. You do too, Will.
Oh.
Thank you. How about our play of the day? How about the WNBA Finals from this weekend?
How about it, Robin? Let's get right to it, everyone. The WNBA Finals is coming up aces so far, at least. Game 2 between the Phoenix Mercury and the Las Vegas Aces delivered high scores and record performances. Vegas star Jackie Young set a WNBA Finals record with 21 points in the third quarter alone. She finished with 32 points. Asia Wilson had a Finals career high 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 assists.
MVP.
Yes, Grammy winner Usher in the house. For the Aces, wearing league MVP Asia Wilson's signature A1 shoes at that. The final score, 91-78. Game 3 of the WNBA Finals is Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And if you need a little inspo on how to watch these games, check out the Vanderbilt women's basketball team. They turned their practice court into a full-blown movie theater to watch their favorite players work their magic, get a little inspo of their own.
Very, very clever.
Yeah.
But Asia and Usher, she's always had a thing for him.
Yeah. And clearly the feeling is mutual.
Yeah, it's a best of 7 It's the first time it's a best-of-7 final.
Yeah, so tune in.
Yeah.
Tune in.
A lot
And
of
if you can
games.
do it in Vandy style, why not?
Oh, you both cannot be.
Yep.
yeah,
Two Vandy
partial.
parents.
Coming up, the hopeful news for new parents. The new study on a way to reduce the risk of young kids developing a peanut allergy. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narulis, she's going to be here to explain it all. So come on back to Good Morning America on this Monday morning.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Breaking overnight. The fight over President Trump's push to send U.S. troops into more American cities. A judge appointed by President Trump blocked the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland, blasting the administration. After mostly peaceful protests in Portland and Chicago were interrupted by clashes between federal agents and protesters. Governors in both states fight to stop the deployment.
Life after Ozzy. Jack Osborne in an emotional interview about his father.
None of us expected it to be like this with that outpour of love.
Talking about the heavy metal icon and his new memoir, how his mother Sharon is doing, and sharing memories about Ozzy's final concert and his final days, and how he wants the world to remember his father.
And Taylor Swift breaks music records thanks to her latest album, releasing videos for Life of a Showgirl overnight, revealing new details about the cover art.
I just went, that's the cover.
As we say, Good Morning America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
A lot of people listening to a lot of Taylor all weekend long. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Good morning, America. You know, this morning we're kicking off our new series, Can't Miss This.
It is October. I guess it's never too early to start talking about Christmas in the head like that. And Lori B, she's got great deals on gift ideas, everyday items, and she's going to reveal huge limited time savings up to $200 off on one of those products. So what does that product cost if it's all $200 off? Plus, Dr. Tara Narula is here, a health alert, a new study released overnight on a way to help reduce the risk of kids developing a peanut allergy.
First look at the top stories breaking today. We start with that breaking news overnight. In a late night ruling, a federal judge blocked the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon, as President Trump attempts to send U.S. troops into the city of Chicago as well, against the objections of governors of both those states. That has never happened before in American history. We want to go to Trevor Ault in Oregon. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning again, George. So at the core of this issue is a federal judge appointed by President Trump in his first term says the president's claims that demonstrators are burning Portland to the ground are simply not the reality here. Now, we are here on the scene behind me. This is the ICE facility here in Portland, and over here we have a small encampment of demonstrators, about a dozen people or so who have been here this morning. Now, we did see some action over the weekend, some federal officers firing some pepper balls, firing some tear gas at these demonstrators, but Portland police said they did not see any kind of person or property crime, and the Portland chief of police has actually expressed some concern that bringing in the National Guard would actually potentially inflame the actions of the crowd. So this is the back and forth that played out this weekend. First, that federal judge said the president could not federalize the National Guard here in Oregon and send them into Portland. Within hours of that ruling, the Trump administration then federalized the California National Guard and had them start deploying to Portland. And then overnight, in a very unusual emergency hearing that was actually conducted over the phone, the judge expanded that ruling to say that the Trump administration could not bring the National Guard from any state here to Portland. Now, what's important to note is this only has to do with Portland. The Trump administration, of course, is trying to send the National Guard to a number of different cities. They have already appealed this ruling, and they believe the public's on their side. Robin?
All right, Trevor, let's go back to Chicago, where demonstrators clashed with federal agents over the weekend as President Trump ordered National Guard troops to that city. Alex Perez is there with the latest. Good morning again, Alex.
Hey, good morning once again, Robin. Yeah, this ICE facility behind me here is one of a few locations over the weekend where we saw some intense clashes between federal agents and protesters. Now, after that federal judge blocked the White House attempt to send National Guard troops into Portland, the administration authorized hundreds of Guard members from Texas to be sent to Chicago to protect federal buildings and personnel. For weeks here in the Chicago area, demonstrators have confronted ICE agents outside their facility, and over the weekend, federal agents deploying tear gas, shooting rubber bullets and arresting protesters, many of whom were trying to block the agents from leaving the facility. Now, Illinois Governor Pritzker is denouncing the deployment of the National Guard, calling this, quote, Trump's invasion. Texas Governor Abbott saying in a statement, you can either fully enforce protection for federal employees or get out of the way and let the Texas Guard do it. Now, Governor Pritzker here in Illinois says he will fight in the courts to stop the deployment of the National Guard. Guys?
Alex Perez, thanks. Coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, Jack Osborne on the outpouring of love for his father, Ozzy. He's going to talk about how his mother, Sharon, is doing, also sharing memories of his father's final concert and days.
Also ahead, we are celebrating National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. Adorable four-legged guests here in the studio. How you can get involved and help these sweet animals find their forever homes.
Plus, how to make the most of a trip to Disneyland while sticking to a budget. And Laura, you have a special guest.
I am here with James Beard-nominated chef Arnold Mintz. He's digging into his takeout bag because we're doing Takeout Bakeout, delivering you the tastiest dishes that we can all make at home. We're going Thai style today, right? Yep. So excited. It's coming up right here on GMA.
We are back with our GMA cover story. Jack Osborne, one-on-one, talking about his father Ozzy's new memoir, Last Rites. Chris Connolly back with the story. Hello, Chris.
Hey, good morning again, George. He became nationally known as a teen on the MTV series The Osbournes. Today, Ozzy and Sharon's son Jack Osborne is 39 years old, father of 4 daughters. And as Ozzy's candid new memoir is being published posthumously, Jack is sharing his feelings about his father's life and his death less than 3 months ago.
None of us expected it to be like this with that outpour of love.
Jack Osborne is in mourning following the passing of his father Ozzy on July 22nd. How is your mother doing now?
You know, when people have been asking me that question, I say she's okay, but she's not okay.
Can she feel the affection and the appreciation?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah. I know she feels the love. And I think that has been such an interest, like a level that none of us could ever really, we have, you know, I think every child sits there and kind of has this thought about one day their parents won't be there and what will that be like. It's just a part of being a human. We just didn't think of it. We didn't think of, oh, you know, and so it was a different weight to it.
Ozzy's death coming just 48 hours after Ozzy finished work on his memoir, Last Rites, recounting his years as a heavy metal wild man. I want to make sure I quote accurately from the book. If I'd been clean and sober, I wouldn't be Ozzy. If I'd done normal, sensible things, I wouldn't be Ozzy.
There's definitely some truth to that. But here's the thing. He was clean and sober at the end, and he was still Ozzy.
Were there things in the book that were hard for you to read?
I think the last chapter is the hardest.
What are you remembering from that time?
He was happy. Sorry. He was in such a good mood.
Ozzy had earned happiness, his book chronicling the excruciating medical ordeal that forced him off the road, undergoing 7 surgeries in 5 years to repair the neck he badly injured in a 2019 fall. Just 17 days before he passed, Ozzy's farewell concert, a benefit titled Back to the Beginning, in his UK hometown of Birmingham. Seated on a throne, still very much Ozzy, singing his solo hits, then joining Black Sabbath for an unforgettable 4-song finale.
Thank you from the bottom of our heart.
So what's that like for you to watch on that day, the 5th of July of this year?
It was funny. Before he went on stage, I ran back into the dressing room and... Sorry. I just gave him a big hug. I just kissed him. I just said... I was like, crush it. You're going to do so good. And I was crying. I was in the crowd with... there was this area in the crowd, and I was with my brother. And we both were just crying. Not because of... It wasn't because of feeling sorry for him. It wasn't because we were sad for him. I think it was because we knew it was the last time. In hindsight, it kind of was a living wake, you know, if you think about it. He got to say goodbye to everyone.
How would you like us all to remember your father?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Someone who loved his job and his family, and with a great sense of humor.
The Ozzy Osbourne memoir, Last Rites, goes on sale in bookstores tomorrow, October 7th. Our thanks to Jack Osbourne and our sympathies to him and his entire family. Guys?
We do share that, and our thanks to you also, Chris, for bringing this to us. Certainly do appreciate it. We have a GMA Health Alert now. A study released overnight finds education tools for your pediatrician could help reduce your child's likelihood of developing a peanut allergy. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Narula is here to break it on down. Now, we know this isn't the only food allergy, but it is the most prominent one when it comes to American kids. So what should parents know about how widespread this is?
Exactly. Well, 8% of kids have food allergies. 2% of those are peanut allergies. And that number has gone up since the late 90s when it was only about 0.4%. It's a quality of life issue for families. It's an economic burden. And there's always the looming fear of anaphylaxis. And so it used to be in the past that if you were worried your kid might develop a peanut allergy, you actually didn't give them peanuts until they were older. In 2015, there was a landmark study released that changed all of that. It said that actually by exposing kids who are at higher risk to peanuts earlier on, 4 to 6 months of age, you actually could reduce the risk of developing peanut allergies by about 80%. The problem is that even though this changed the guidelines since 2017, we still see about 20 to 30% of pediatricians only really promoting this new guidance about early exposure.
So break down the study a little bit more, what we found.
So this study looked at if we intervened in pediatric practices and gave pediatricians and practices video trainings, handouts to give parents, education in the electronic medical record and reporting prompts, and also screenings for eczema, could we improve the counseling that they gave? So they looked at 30 pediatric practices in Illinois, about 18,000 kids, and they found that in those practices that got that intervention for low-risk kids, about 84% received the appropriate guidance versus about 35% that did not. Again, in the intervention practices for high-risk kids, about 27% received the appropriate guidance and 10% did not. So clearly that training is improving the pediatrician's ability to give the right message out. Now they're going to look longer term to see does it actually reduce the development of allergies.
All right, I'm a little scared here because how do you go about introducing it in a safe in a safe way?
It could be really scary for parents.
Of course, and so, really the guidance breaks kids down into 3 groups. There's low-risk kids, those who do not have eczema or egg allergies. And for those kids, there's no real risk of introducing it to them at any stage, so you just do it when it's appropriate for your family. In moderate-risk kids, those are the ones that have mild or moderate eczema, you should be introducing peanut products around 6 months. And for high-risk kids, those who have severe eczema or egg allergies, you want to get them tested for IgE antibodies. That's a blood test. And then based on that, if they're negative, you introduce those peanut products at 4 to 6 months. And if not, obviously, then meeting with an allergist or your doctor. But when you do it, you want to set aside about 2 hours to kind of watch your baby, take 2 teaspoons of peanut product, mix it with some hot water, formula, breast milk, or pureed vegetables or fruit. Give it to them a small amount and watch them for about 10 minutes to look for any signs of hives, throat, tongue swelling, itching, vomiting, nausea, anything like that. If they tolerate it, then you continue to feed them, and then over the next several weeks, you kind of bring it into their schedule, so 2 to 3 times a week over the next few months. And that's how you introduce it, but you don't want to use, peanuts, chunky peanut butter, anything that's lumpy that could be a choking hazard. So that's important.
Fascinating.
It is.
Yes, early introduction.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we're going to turn now to a look at the Disneyland parks. Becky Worley headed to Disneyland to see what it looks like to take a trip to the parks while sticking on a budget. Good morning, Beck.
Lara, good morning. Going to a Disney park is a major event for families, one they save for all year in some cases. So we asked, how can you do Disney right and do right by your wallet?
Way up Louisiana, I can't wait to get to the shore out the Bay of Mexico.
Spinning through Disney is a whirlwind. But can you maximize your day at Disney while sticking to a budget? First tip from my guide, Carrie Hayner, who's a member of the free consultation service called Plan Disney: start early. Rope drop. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, next up, instead of paying for faster line access,
the Disneyland app is going to be your best friend throughout the day. You're going to be able to see wait times.
5 minutes.
Great.
Not bad. Let's do it. And what about character meals? Carrie says no need to pay extra.
And you go into the app in the map, click on characters, and here you can see every character that'll be available around this area.
Selfie time with Minnie. We also take advantage of all the free experiences that are hiding in plain sight. Whoa! And hey, the best trick to save money is to minimize purchases.
You can bring in snacks, you can bring water bottles. There's no limit to that.
Oh, so they have these stations all over?
They do, all out throughout the parks.
Snacks? Sure. Cheese and salami? Perfect. And it's totally okay to bring snacks in? Yes. We do eat our meals in the park, but these were the only purchases on the day. So I had a $15 lunch and a $15 dinner, and then the cost of my ticket. That's it. And about the ticket, prices differ day to day. Like I found one for $104 next month. And even more savings? Pay for that ticket using a discounted Disney gift card. Target Red Card holders can get 5% off of Disney gift cards, and wholesale clubs have Disney cards discounted too. And to really maximize the ticket, Nighttime Disney is its own thing.
It is.
So my ticket cost $126 plus $30 for food. And if you paid for it with a discounted gift card, that would total $148 for 14 hours of nonstop fun and joy. Okay, a lightning round of Disney deals coming up here through December 19th at Disneyland. 20% off of hotel stays of 3 nights or more. For the first half of 2026 at Disney World, if you're planning a 4-night or longer trip, you can save up to $250 a night on any Walt Disney World hotel when you purchase a 4-day theme park ticket from the Walt Disney Travel Company. Also, for visits in 2026, kids ages 3 to 9 dine for free when you buy a dining plan for guests ages 10 and up at a Walt Disney World hotel. You can scan the QR code here for these deals and more on our website. Guys, do I get the best assignments or what?
Yeah, no, thank you for doing all that legwork. Those are some great, great deals. And yes, we're all a little bit jealous. Becky Burley, we thank you so much. All right, I'm learning so much thanks to this girl, ABC Secret Savings right now. So these are great sales on products that will keep you happy, keep you healthy, keep you on the move. Everything here is shoppable. And Lori, you are going to tell us all about these things.
And who doesn't want to be happy, healthy, and on the move,
Yes.
Laura? So let's kick it off with Paddle Smash.
I never knew about this.
I know, this is really cool.
Right up my alley.
This is pickleball meets round net.
Can I try it?
Yes, please go for it. So it works on the idea of like a bump, set, serve, but it's really a combo of the two games, right?
Okay.
It was invented by a dad of 7 children. So you guys know it's going to be super fun.
So you stand around it.
You stand around. It's 2 versus 2. It comes with 4.
Brad, get over here.
Yeah, get in here, Brad. It comes with 4 pickleball paddles and 2 balls. Yeah, get in there. Oh! And then points are scored when the ball doesn't clear. Okay. While they're playing, I'm going to tell you guys what the deal is. So this is, you're going to get free shipping from Paddle Smash. The deal is $128 plus free shipping. Really great, guys. All right, I'm sorry to pull you away.
All right, it was fun though. I love it.
Paddle Smash. But let's talk about NutriBullet Ultra Deluxe.
May I?
Oh, please have a smoothie. So this is incredible. This is their most quiet, which I love because I make a lot of these in the morning. It's a 14-piece set, super durable. And Lara, you know.
14 pieces?
Yes, it comes with all these pieces here. And it can do everything from soups to sauces, obviously to smoothies. So I know we're all making our protein smoothies in the morning, right? We're always talking about that. And what I love about it as a mom is that it hits the trifecta for me. It's BPA free, these Triton cups that we have right here.
Okay, that's great.
BPA free, it's dishwasher safe, which I love because I don't love cleaning all of the stuff, the mess that I make. And then also it's shatterproof because I got a lot of kids and I don't want anything breaking. So this is incredible. We love that. Let me tell you about the deal. You're gonna get free shipping with this deal. It's $99.
All right.
Incredible. Grace and Able. So this is really excellent compression gloves if anybody has osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis.
There's
carpal
like
tunnel.
they're like
so it comes into this is the cooling gel. We actually froze these overnight.
Oh wow!
Instant relief.
Wow,
Doesn't that
guys,
feel great?
this
These were
feels so
developed,
good.
Yeah, developed by a hand therapist. They're great for that. This deal is incredible. You're gonna save 40% from Grace and Able. This deal starts at $14.
Wow, very nice, guys.
And I want to tell you about this one from Withings. This is their ScanWatch 2 and wristband.
Okay.
This can track steps. It can track sleep. It can track your heart rate. It actually has a medical grade ECG built in. This thing is incredible. And
it looks like a classic watch.
It looks like a classic watch. You can choose your own band here. And it also has a 30-day battery life, which is incredible. The deal here is $232 per set and free shipping.
Nicely
on that.
done.
And then higher dose. This is science-backed wellness. If you've ever gone to an infrared sauna, which I love, they can be very expensive, but they are incredible.
Yeah.
This is a red light mask. This is great for fine lines and wrinkles. We've got the sauna blanket that's really great for circulation, relieving tension. And then also, Larry, I want to bring you over to this mat.
Yeah,
this is a PEMF mat. Go ahead and feel that. It's incredible there.
Oh, yeah.
And then the deal here on this one, this deal is going to save you 25%, $262 it starts on. Now, you're on the mat, but I also want to talk to you about the mattress.
The mat is
from
heated,
Layla,
by the
which
way.
is copper infused, and it's two options. It's so cool because you can flip it. So there's a flippable mattress, the soft side on the bottom. We have the hard side on top. Memory foam or hybrid you get to choose from. And we take sleep so seriously here, and Layla is a great brand for that.
It's gorgeous.
This is going to give you free shipping. The deal here starts $374.50, and it is free shipping. What is not to love about
that? Was
all
a lot of information.
Yes,
thank you so much. A lot of great deals for you. And thank you to our partners. We've partnered with these companies on these savings. Scan the QR code on your screen, and we'll be right back on GMA.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
You can tell by the towels.
Yeah.
Something's up with Fox News, Lara.
These are coming. But we want to begin by talking about our favorite showgirl, Taylor Swift. Wow, she has a lot to celebrate. The album, her 12th, crushing records, including now becoming the most streamed album of 2025 on Spotify, on Apple Music, and on Amazon Music. This woman is amazing. Her song, The Fate of Ophelia, has also set a Spotify record. Is that your favorite, Robin?
Yes, it is.
And I love that song.
And Wood.
It is
good too.
I love that song too. Anyway, that other song is the most streamed song in a single day for Spotify in their history. And last night, Taylor dropped the official music video for Ophelia. Check it out. I love the football catch. It's just all so cute. And Taylor was really busy overnight. Her team rolled out lyric videos for every other song on the album. She's also releasing 8 new acoustic versions of some of the songs. And on top of everything else, Taylor gave fans some new insight into the choices that went into the making of her album cover. Check this out.
It represents to me like you've done all this work, you've done a 3.5-hour show, you've done the lead up to it, you've done the warm-ups, you've gotten through it. Anything that could have gone wrong, you sidestep, and you finally get back. And what do? You take a bath. It's like that moment of relaxation and that moment of the cameras are down, the lights are off. What do you have to say? What's your story?
Hearing like the interviews. It's all so fun. The Life of a Showgirl is streaming everywhere, in case you hadn't heard. And the reigning champ of this weekend's box office is Taylor Swift, everybody. Her one weekend only theatrical event, Release Party of a Showgirl, brought in $46 million at the box office worldwide, making it the #1 movie of the weekend. Robin Roberts contributed.
Another weekend for Taylor.
Yep. I mean, just in a day's work, George.
Really good.
There's so many good songs, too.
Yeah.
Like,
and you said that it's about an hour and a
you
half.
saw the
you
making
can't
of the video and everything?
Couldn't look away. I know, right? You really are. You are a full tilt Swiftie, and we love it. And so am I. And frankly, so is George. You know you are.
What I have to, Taylor was kind enough to send us a box of swag. My girls exploded.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely certain that Taylor handwrote them out.
Yeah. Well, I have bad news for them. We're on the same note. But it was so nice of the team
Very nice.
to do
So
that.
nice.
Mine's on its way to Vanderbilt right now. Okay, it was like, get that right in the mail. Hey, we want to turn to sports news now. The NFL, we all know Michael was working yesterday. That's why he's not here today. He was covering the action at Fox Sports, and he hit the field for a special team demo during Fox NFL Sunday alongside Gronk, and Julian Edelman was kicking. Take a look at what happened.
All right, so Julian's going to kick.
Am I kicking?
Okay.
I'll be the
I'm
kicker.
Jordan Davis right here.
No socks. Hut.
Mission accomplished.
Michael, are you okay? He's used to taking a hit, but maybe not like this one. I just got in my ear. He's totally fine. He said we could air this.
Boy, an inch lower.
That's one way to block a kick, I guess.
Wow, he's lucky.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, but he's fine, and he wanted us to see it, and they all were laughing at him. Those boys. And then finally, I don't want to waste a second more. Towels on, doggies out. It is National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. So we are teaming up with our pals, our family at North Shore Animal League America. Thank you guys. Hi. So we're just, as always, trying to get the word out. There are countless furry friends who need homes. Before you consider buying a dog, please consider adopting friends like this guy. I'm holding Spencer. Spencer is a 6-year-old Jack Russell Terrier. Did you guys name him because, did you? You did. All right. Well, this little fella is from Tennessee. He's a little shy with new faces, but he lights up around other dogs. He really wants to go see George's friend. And Banjo and Marta, they are 9-week-old cattle dog mixes. That's yours, Rob.
Yes,
oh my gosh,
Banjo.
so beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And George has an 8-week-old Rottweiler mix. They were both rescued from the Carolinas.
Rottweiler?
That's a Rottweiler mix. Look how beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm guessing a little lab in there too. Look at his little eyebrows.
Very chill.
Yeah, and they are. And then Jen, who do you have?
This is Nebula,
Hi,
1 year
Nebula.
old, and this is what I love. We adopted ours at
love
least
you.
one. We think he might have been
Yeah.
older because he's graying pretty fast. But the big ones and the slightly older ones,
Yeah, please
are
consider
so
adopting
wonderful.
an adult dog. They need love too. This Nebula is from Puerto Rico, by the way.
Beautiful.
And she's housebroken, she's crate trained, she loves to run around dog parks. North Shore is also kicking off their 9th annual Walk and Wag fundraising challenge across the country. Every step you take benefits an animal in need. You can learn more on how to give or how to walk or how to adopt at animalleague.org. And happy National Shelter Pet Month, everybody. Adopt, don't shop.
Love it.
Robin, are you taking them home?
She's consumed.
I'm just getting scoop from our next guest. Best-selling author Mitch Albom is here. His books, including Tuesdays with Morrie, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and The Little Liar, they have sold close to 42 million copies. And his new book, Twice, is our GMA Book Club pick for October. Well, of course it is. We love everything that you write, Mitch. Welcome to Good Morning America.
Thank you very much.
Will you tell us a little bit about this concept in Twice? I love this.
Well, ever since Tuesdays with Morrie, I've noticed how people live and die with regrets. So I want to write a book about people always saying I could go back and do it again, I would. So I created a story with a guy named Alfie who discovers when he's a boy that he has the magical ability to do everything in his life twice. But he has to live with the consequences of the second try. There's no going back. And so he goes through his adolescent life fixing his mistakes, and when he becomes a man, he discovers there's one caveat to the power. It doesn't work with love.
Oh, no.
So if you walk away from someone who loves you, they can never love you again. And he has to make a very important decision in his life.
Oh, wow. Very nice tease.
Okay.
So I understand.
I've been practicing.
I understand that your wife is one of your biggest fans and also one of your biggest critics.
Yeah.
She gives you feedback on all of these ideas?
But I dedicated the book to my wife because love is one of those things that people always talk about. Oh, if I had a different partner, maybe life could be different. And the thing about love is that we all fall in love with what they call the new car smell. You know, somebody new. We always want to try somebody new, but part of love is taking care of it and nurturing it. We like the flame when it ignites, but you've got to take care of that flame.
Absolutely.
And so Alfie has to go through his life, making a decision about love too.
Do you have these ideas kind of stored up, or how did this one come to you?
Yeah, well, ever since Tuesdays with Maury, I kind of have a whole stack of ideas, but you know, I like to follow up on themes that I know people think about, and I know people often think the grass is always greener. It isn't always necessarily greener.
Correct.
And if you always get second chances, you might not learn anything from your first one.
Yeah, that's very true. So Netflix has bought this.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, before it even came out, that was kind of weird.
Well, you're kind of a sure thing, my friend. You're a pretty good writer. Have you given any thought, or do you have any clues on who will play your lead, Alfie?
I don't cast the movie, but I think the lead guy would have to be somebody you can root for, so like maybe a Ryan Gosling type, or Brad Pitt or Glenn Powell, any of those guys. And the actress playing Gianna, the director likes, and I do too, Haley Steinfeld, who's a really great actress.
Oh, she's a terrific
No
actress.
idea if she's the slightest bit interested, but if she's watching, there
Listen,
you go.
yeah, this is a good time for you to just throw it on out there. We're here for you.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So looking back, given the concept of Twice, do you have anything that you do over, any do-overs in your life?
Sure. I mean, there are a lot. Alfie in the book, he misses his mother's death because he's out playing outside as a boy, and he gets to go back and do that day again and get one last conversation. And I would love to have had that with my mother too. I wasn't there when she died. But the thing is, if you said to me, could you do stuff over again, I would say sure. But if you said to me, you have to forget all the lessons that you learned from the mistakes you made the first time, then I would say no. I'm not making that trade.
So many important lessons in this book, and also just a really great read. We thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you for choosing it.
Yeah, of course. It is, in fact, our choice of the month. So the ABC, the GMA Book Club. Check it out, everybody. It's called Twice, and it's out tomorrow.
Now with our new series, Can't Miss This, finding you incredible discounts offered for a limited time. Lori B is back with the savings. Lori, this is exciting.
I know, I'm very excited. Halloween and the holidays are right around the corner, and it is never too early to start stocking up with everyday essentials. This segment is sponsored by Target. It is their Circle Week, and that means deals you cannot miss now through Saturday. This Circle Week will feature new deals of the day at 40% off, plus big week-long savings on top fall picks. That QR code takes you right to the products we're going to show you and to more deals throughout the week as they get released.
And we're starting with a deal that only happens today.
Yes.
On the go and holiday shopping.
Yes, so we're going to kick things off here, Ginger, with Hydro Flask. You know this brand. We all know it. It's an industry leader. And we've got some totes and some tumblers. So the tumblers are over here. You have kids, I have kids. They always need water bottles, right?
Yep.
It's a great thing to stock up on as we're in school. I see a lot of the producers around here too, always carrying water bottles. So something like that is great from Hydro Flask, as well as the insulated totes here and the lunch totes. They're excellent. But I also want to talk to you about this ice maker where everybody on set was real excited about. It's from GE, and it's because it makes nugget ice, you guys. So if you are entered...
crushy kind.
That crushy kind. We have a little glass of it right over there. People kept trying to steal it. And this is actually up to $200 off right now. So if you're entertaining this holiday season, this is the time to pick that up.
And what are the deals on all of these?
So right now, 40% off. That is incredible.
All right, so now we do a save all week, and beauty is big.
Beauty is always so big, and these are viral products. This is from CeraVe. This is their Renewing SA Cleanser. This is a great thing to stock up on right now, especially if you have a teen at home, or if you're prone to acne. This is great. The Bioma Hydrating Serum. It's really going to help keep all of that moisture locked in.
Deal?
The deal, 20% off on this and even more.
All right, latest style of denim for everybody.
Denim, you don't want to spend too much on denim because there's always trends, right? But you want to participate in the trend. Target is the place to go. So they have this barrel jean here from Universal Threads, which is great. It comes in size 00 up to 30. And we can't forget about the guys from Goodfellow & Co. These are incredible because they have different washes, so they're really versatile. And the deal here, Ginger, 30%
Okay,
off.
and now Halloween is so close. We're just weeks away.
So close, you guys, and nothing screams Halloween more than a Wednesday costume. So you can get all of that there, and then also we're big Superman fans here. All of this from Superman, the boot, the capes, everything, and these are up to 40% off.
Great savings, and I know you have another incredible bonus.
Oh, indeed I do. Circle members who spend $199 or more get a free year-long membership to the Target Circle 360 program with perks including unlimited same-day delivery and free 2-day shipping. Don't forget to scan the QR code to stay up to date on everything Circle Week and the rest of these deals.
After the break, we've got so much coming up, including Chef Mint here for Takeout Fake Out. We love this. The tastiest Thai dishes to make at home instead of ordering delivery. Hope you'll stay with us. So, Miles.
We're back with one of our favorite food series, Takeout Fake Out, where we show you how to recreate the most popular meals from the top delivery food apps. This morning, James Beard-nominated Chef Arnold Mint is here. He's got a new cookbook. It's called Family Thai, bringing the flavors of Thailand home. He's going to show us how to make a takeout favorite at home. But first, we have to hear that doorbell. Billy's coming over. What do we got here? Let's see. 2 containers here.
Smells good to me.
It does smell good to me. Well, it better smell good to you.
Right.
So what are we starting with? Soy sauce noodles? I don't know how to pronounce them.
Yes, so the Thai pronunciation is pat siu. And soy sauce noodles are basically a very quick, easy stir fry, a quintessential classic Thai dish. If you want to help me mix a little bit of sauce here, that's great.
Okay,
it literally translates to soy sauce, siu. So that is a dark sweet soy sauce. We have a light seasoning soy sauce and some oyster sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little salt too?
Yeah, a little. I mean, it's all in there. The salt, the sweet, the umami, it's all part of that, right?
Okay.
And then into this little saute pan here, I have some eggs. I've got some mushrooms, some Chinese broccoli, as well as some scallions. Then we're gonna put a little bit of this sauce into this chicken. You can just pour maybe like a quarter of that and let that marinate for a second. Yeah, that's good. Now you're gonna give me that sauce over here, and we're gonna mix it in to this in a little bit.
Oops, sorry.
So then we're gonna also, you can fold with that little spatula.
Okay.
Or you can use your hands if you really want to get in there,
Not
George.
gonna
What do you
happen.
think? Come on, you'll smell all day, but it's a good smell, right? So I have here my saute pan with some scrambled eggs. Essentially, it's like a fried rice, but with noodles.
Okay.
Right? Sounds good, right? So we have all of this going. I'm gonna throw in some rice noodles. We're gonna take in that marinated chicken and just place it right over here on this side. Have it join that party.
Yep.
Look, you're recreating takeout at home. How easy is this? A little bit more of this saucy sauce, the siu, or the soy sauce, siu. Okay, and a skosh of sugar just to get it caramelized and going, and some fried garlic. Who doesn't like that, right? Boom, boom, boom. There we have it. That is the final product. Now you can recreate a small portion. Then,
some veggies here?
Some veggies. Since I'm from Tennessee, I've taken some green beans, which is a classic dish, or a classic ingredient in Tennessee, and recreated a papaya salad called somtam.
Okay.
But now you can recreate this at home with using ingredients that you can find at your local store. Now this is quite funky. You like it funky?
I do.
Yeah, right? Funky, funky good. We have some dried shrimp here. We have some green beans. We're just gonna throw into this mortar and pestle. Some lime cheeks. Go ahead, squeeze in. And how spicy do you like it, George?
Pretty spicy.
How spicy do you like it? Come on.
3,
So
okay.
3, we'll do 3, and then some tomatoes for a little bit of tartness and some acid, a little bit of sugar as well. Do you just kind of thumb away? Do you want to just pound all that? Come on, George. Yeah, and I have sticky rice here, this beautiful bright green bean salad. I use this like a biscuit. Go like that,
What is
pop it
sticky
in my
rice?
mouth. It's just a type of rice that you steam. It's a varietal of Thai rice that is literally used to enhance flavor and sop up all the sauce.
And I hear you got a restaurant down in Nashville. My daughter's at Vanderbilt. We're going to have to go there the next time. Tell everybody about it.
It is International Market. We actually turned 50 years old this year. My mom was a chef. I took it over. And in honor of that, I wrote a cookbook to commemorate and archive all of our fabulous recipes.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming in. You can get Arnold's recipes by scanning the QR code on your screen. His new cookbook is out tomorrow. Plus, Arnold's going to be back with us on GMA3 with more recipes.
Should we send something to Michael since he got popped in the head?
Yes, we love you, Michael.
Well, I'm feeling good.
Have a good day, everyone.